Hello!
Hello, AOS fans!
It's the Agents of Sigma.
And this video, we're washing up the Doomsday countdown.
So Doomsday Countdown, Robin, what did you think?
What did I think? I really enjoyed it. Actually, it was really good fun. But I'm left wondering whether we've played it wrong.
It was very easy.
It just seemed very easy.
If you haven't seen it, do check out the links in the video.
I've been through the rules. I feel like we didn't activate the cultists enough.
They didn't seem to activate a lot, but I wonder whether it was just because the cards we got were things like Ambush, which was move a cultist, or Fire Frenzy, which didn't move any cultists, just allowed them to do a double attack, and Hidden Mind Charge, which is just roll some dice.
If you had to draw a card for every single cultist, you'd rattle through that deck in about 15
minutes. I mean, there's only about 12 cards in there or something like that.
And it doesn't say anything about shuffling them or anything, so it definitely implies...
You just pick a card, you do that thing with all of them, because all the cards do say each cultist, or each chaos cultist. It does help that I think the cultists were in such positions that when our Marines activated, they could pretty much nearly always kill 2 or 3 cultists before anybody got to react to that, which is kind of thematic for Space Marines. They're meant to be lightning fast and super deadly, so...
We locked these two down very quickly as well, which meant that nothing spawned near us.
Yeah.
But then, of course, they were near us in the first place, so that's bound to happen.
Had some of these points been up the ends of corridors or at the ends of large snaking portions of the board, then that could have been a much more different affair. And
possibly, although then the cultists would have been further away. So I haven't quite worked that out. I'm trying to think of it with my head on. I'm trying to think of it with a young person's head on. If I was like 11 or 12 playing this, I'd have bloody loved it.
Yeah.
Because I won.
You won. You're a Space Marine, which is inherently cool to just be charging around, popping heads left and right.
And it was just really fun.
Yeah.
And we did have we had a good time playing it. I feel like some of these abilities perhaps are a bit good actually now we've played it. Like you're one of re-rolling 1s and 2s. You can do that sort of once per...
Well, anybody can do that. He can do it. As long as he has line of sight, anybody can do it. So if all 3 Space Marines are together and are shooting at the same group of cultists or whatever, he can use it on all of them.
And it makes it almost unmissable.
And Brother Ghislaine's ability to just move onto a hex and swat a chaos caster. Again, it's very thematic. A Space Marine isn't going to even slow down as he walks down a corridor. He's just going to squash a cultist in his tracks. So it was quite powerful. I do wonder whether it's just the fact that because some of the cultist spawn points were so close, and one of them was where we had to get to anyway, so we could just charge through it almost, just made it... Maybe it was a little bit easier.
Maybe so. So it's perhaps a little bit easier, difficulty level not that high, but really fun.
Yeah.
Looks great. The tiles look lovely.
Setup's pretty quick as well.
And it's really quick to play, really quick to set up. There is a campaign mode, which I think potentially makes it harder. It certainly makes it a little bit longer. You've got to do several different maps. In the first game, you can only find an elevator, I think, and then you find the code, and then you deactivate an escape. I think that's how it works.
But you retain, I assume you retain your wounds between them and stuff like that.
You take the things down. So that definitely would make it harder.
Yes,
because we did actually we all took
a wound, and one guy had taken 2 wounds, so it wouldn't have taken much for somebody to then knock him off.
Yeah, healed him if you didn't have that card to heal him.
Exactly.
Yeah, so interesting. I think it's fun. I think it is aimed at, when these games are, I think they are aimed at younger players.
It's interesting because it says ages 12 plus, and I reckon even like 8 to 9-year-olds could play this game.
I think with GW ages, you've got to balance up that hobby versus gameplay element, because at 12, below 12, obviously I know every child is different, but they're not that easy to safely cut out the sprues and fit together. There's an element you have to have some experience to do that. We're not saying that younger children couldn't do that, but they couldn't just pick it up and do it. Like they could just pick up a board game and play it probably. Yeah,
I mean, when I was 8 or 9, I was probably cutting stuff out and things like that. But at the same time, the models weren't as finicky and delicate as these ones are. And I probably...
and he's only got 4 fingers.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, it was fine. And also the game mode does allow for 1 to 3 players. It's co-op, so there's no, little Johnny beat little Sally this time, and now Sally won't come down for dinner or whatever. And it is only 30 minutes. You haven't got to worry about your kids losing their sort of concentration and just giving up and walking away.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think they would go off and play this on their own as well. I might experiment with that. I might take this into the house.
You can leave it with a stick propped up against it and some candy leading up to it, and they'll be going around, piece of candy. And then they'll suddenly find Doomsday. Doomsday countdown.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's fun. I can't see, if I'm honest, I can't see us playing it a lot.
Not on the channel, no. It's certainly the kind of thing where I could see having a game of it if we were sitting around with nothing to do, but that's so very rare that it's almost impossible. But it's definitely a game I could see me getting for the kids, to play something where they want to get a little bit involved with Dad's toys, but at the same time I don't want to touch any of my precious stuff. So I could see that happening. It's
definitely a gateway game.
Yeah.
A gateway game written all over it. I mean, immediately, I know people moan about people who love Space Marines, but immediately you love these guys.
Yeah, it makes them seem awesome.
And you might want to paint them.
The models are, they're the standard stock for GW models, so they are fantastic detail.
Yep. And you have got the fact that if you have this one and Fire Team, although the models aren't, the arms come off, although the models aren't compatible, you can't use these models in Fire Team, you get the models in Fire Team to play it, and so you've got this game is really simple, Fire Team is a little bit more complicated, and before you know it, they're beating your hands down at Kill Team and Warhammer 40,000.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think this is a thumbs up. It's a little bit tricky. It's not a little bit tricky. It's a little bit easy, but it's just a brilliant gateway game.
Yep.
And just really quite fun. One thing I will say is it's an interesting one. This we talk about a lot in Warhammer Underworld. Games Workshop rules writing can sometimes be a bit woolly.
Yep.
And they sometimes get themselves tied up in knots. They have kind of done that in here. Some of the things are written, and particularly around board setup, are very much written as though it's like a really competitive game and people are going to try and pull it apart.
Yeah.
Which you totally don't need.
No, not in this.
For a 10-year-old.
No.
10-year-old will just need to know, because setting the tiles down was incredibly convoluted, but all you really know is you put those 3 tiles down, then you go around the clockwise, just putting them all out. That's all it needed to say.
I mean, we did it, and then we shifted a couple because we were like, actually, that looks a bit naff, and my OCD doesn't cope with that, so I need to move these tiles around here.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why it's so easy. No, but yeah, just you can obviously. I think I can't remember what we changed now, but there was something that was. Obviously,
I think it was just like moving a trap tile, so it was actually might
we
actually
to show
be
you a
useful.
trap, and I actually did have to use the extra ability to not get trapped, so it actually made a difference. Yeah, we put the trap here so that we would definitely have to try and not go in it.
Yeah.
So that's it. That is.
It's a nice, simple game. It's going to be about 40 quid in the shops or a relevant price in whichever country you're in. It's going to take you about half an hour to put the models together if you're remotely into this kind of thing. Maybe a little longer if not, and you will need some clippers if you don't have some to put these together. But other than that, once you've got the models together, this game plays
really fast.
30 minutes, I think this is probably one of the most accurate times that GW have ever given for one of their games.
It's dead simple. It's literally rolling in 3+ and 5+. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much nearly everything's either 3+ to shoot with your Marine or 5+ to hit with the Cultist. People take a wound and they're taken off straight away.
So that's a quick rundown of Doomsday Countdown.